Hey my beautiful angels, welcome back to my channel. My name is Angie and today we're going to be doing this gold half cut crease. This is an old video that I found on my phone. At this time my hair wasn't dyed yet, it was just my regular brown hair color. And I'm just going to be starting off by priming my lids. I'm just using concealer and some loose setting powder. So I'm just making sure that there are no creases, blending out that concealer that I just put, and then using a Real Techniques brush and some Fit Me Loose setting powder, I'm going to go ahead and set my eyelids and get them ready for the shadows that we will be using today. So today I will be using the Morphe 350 matte palette. And I'm going to be starting off on the second row, the second to last shadow. That is going to be my transition shade, and this is just like a warm toned brown. So just using a fluffy brush, I'm going to go ahead and put that in my crease, making sure that it's blended out and building it up until I get the intensity that I want. Now going into the fourth row, I'm going to be using the last shadow, which is another warm brown, but it's slightly darker than the first one we just used. And I'm just going to put that into my crease to deepen up the crease. Going back and forth, blending it out. And then I do go back in with the other brush to make sure that everything is blended out. And once again, just going back and forth, picking up a little bit more pigment to get the darkness that I want. So now I'm going to be mixing the second shadow on the fourth row and the third on the last row to further darken up the crease. And this is just more like a chocolatey brown color. Putting that into my crease because I want a very dark outer corner. So the inner corner I'm keeping fairly light, and I'm focusing the darker colors on the outer part of my eye. So now I'm going in with the NYX Foil Play cream pigment in the name Pop Quiz. This is just a regular gold pigment color, and we are going to be doing a cut crease, but I did not show on video when I cut the crease. So if you want to know how I do cut my crease to do cut creases, go ahead and watch one of my previous videos. I have two where I actually do explain how I did cut the crease with the concealer and a brush. So I'm just packing it in, making sure to get as close as I can to that carve that we did with the concealer. So once I finished the other eye, I did notice that I had some fallout from the pigment, so I just used a makeup wipe and just cleaned that up. So now to blend in the pigment to the rest of the eye look, I am going back in with my brush and whatever is left of the chocolate brown color, making sure that they meet and it's very nice blended out, so you don't know where the gold pigment starts and ends. So you want to make sure that everything is nice and blended out. And I did pick up a little bit more shadow with my brush to help me blend it out. After that, I'm just going to grab my Tarte gel liner in the color black. I'm just going to line my top lash line, and this is just going to help me blend it in to the falsies that I'll be wearing with this look. So I will not be doing a wing or anything. I am just doing a very thin line on my lash line to help me blend in my falsies. And then I'm just going to grab my mascara. I'm using, I believe, the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara in black. And then I'm just going to apply the falsies. So now I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the rest of my face. I'm going to be starting with the e.l.f. primer. This is a pore minimizing one. just putting it all over my face, but focusing it on my nose and my cheeks because that is where I have the biggest pores. And I did go in with a second primer. This is the Smashbox primer. This is just a sample size. I never got around to buying the full size because I have the no pore blem one, but I actually did like the Smashbox one. For my foundation, I use the Maybelline 24-Hour Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation. This is a matte foundation, and I am in the shade 112, which is Natural Ivory. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend that in with a Real Techniques beauty sponge. So I'm just patting that into the skin, making sure that everything is evened out. For my concealer, I'm using the Clinique All About the Eyes concealer. Now I actually did like this concealer. I like the coverage. It is a very full coverage, but my problem was that it dried way too fast. So right now you do see me just applying it to half of my face, just under my eye, and taking it down just a little bit to the corners of my mouth. So I blend that out first, and then I go in with the other side, because by the time I get back and blend it out, it won't move. It dries very fast, so I have to work very quickly. I apply it and then blend it out right away. So now I'm going in with my nose, the bridge of my nose, just adding concealer on there. Whatever I have left, I put some on the top of my Cupid's bow, on my chin, and my forehead and the top of my brows. And to set the concealer, I'm using the Fit Me Loose Setting Powder, which is the same one that I use to set the concealer on my eyes. So I'm just going to make sure that my under eyes have not creased yet, blended it out with my sponge. And then I'm using my Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to push that into the under eyes, almost baking. I am leaving the excess powder there because I will take it off in a bit. So I'm just pushing that into the skin, making sure that everything is nice and set. So once again, just pushing it in. Right there, I did have a lot of powder, so I am baking. And now using my Fit Me face powder with a big powder brush, I am setting the rest of my face, and with that brush I dust the baking that I had under my eye. To bronze up my face, I use the Benefit Cheek Parade palette. I actually really did like this palette, but unfortunately it did break, so I had to throw it out. I mixed the Hoola and the Hoola Light Bronzer, and I bronze my cheeks, my forehead, my nose to make it slimmer, and my double chin to try to make it disappear, but I like food, so it's always going to be there. It won't leave. So I do pinch my brush to make it a little bit thinner so I could bronze this side of my nose. To contour, I'm using a fan brush, and I'm just using the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour palette, and I mix the two first shades. And then I am baking underneath just to clean up the contour. I don't bake that much. I pat it in, and then a few seconds later I do clean it off. And I'm using the Milani blush in Tea Rose. So now I'm going in with the Morphe highlighter. This is in the shade Lit. So I'm going to highlight the high points of my cheekbones, the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and the high point of my forehead, which is the top of my eyebrows. And now, because we did use a lot of powders, I like to set my face with the Mario Badescu water. And now we're going to be doing the lower lash line. I use the dark chocolate brown first on a very small angled brush, getting that as close to the lower lash line as I can, and then I blend it out with the warm toned brown, which is the shadow that we use as our transition color. And now I'm just going to apply some mascara on my lower lashes. And for my inner corner highlight today, I am using 2 shades from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I mix these shades in Light and Beam. Can you guys tell me how many times I mixed 2 different colors and shades in this video? I feel like I mix all my stuff. I mix my foundation, concealer, shadows. I mix everything. So to line my lips, I just use the L'Oreal lip liner in Beyond Pink. And then I'm using the lipstick by Too Faced in Sunday Fun Day, and just going to top it with the Becca lip topper in Champagne Dream. And then once again, setting my entire face with the Mario Badescu spray. And that is it for this look. I hope you guys like it. Don't forget to comment down below, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and give this video a like. My social media would be in the description box below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.